things. It's kind of a quiet time in the year. Work is still a bit of a pain because, yeah, I am the only order entry programmer. Order entry is one of the biggest things and has the most problems. So most of the time I'm fixing stuff and not doing much in the way of new development. So when the business decides, hey, we've got a brilliant idea for something new, it's like, well, that's nice. I got one this week. It's like, yeah, we need to be able to do this. Yeah, that's nice. And next week's going to be pricing changes. So I'm going to be dealing with pricing uploads and pretty much nothing else. Okay. 215 minus 180 is 35? Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's the angle I selected. I should have gone 45, which would be 225. That's the opposite direction. But this is okay. Yeah, I can't think what else is happening. So yeah, work's quiet. This weekend is going to be very peaceful. We had a couple of steaks last night. And I didn't pay attention to what cut they were. They were incredibly thin and quite big. So it's like 5 minutes on the grill and they're done. Which reminds me, I do need to go out and clean the grill off. I think everything else is good. We haven't been able to get any big potatoes for baked potatoes, so what Mrs. Ose has been doing is boiling up potatoes in their skins, and then you squash them with a plate and bake them for about half an hour. So it's not baked potatoes, but it's close enough representation, and it goes well with steak. So not complaining there. How did I do? Looks like I managed to actually hit the width of the harvester header pretty much. Don't get much closer than that. It's the one thing I would like GPS to make it easier for me to run the rows, and yeah, we're going to miss that bit there. Okay, so that's 51% done. So that should be about 31% harvested. We'll run up here for a little ways. And then probably turn in about there. So again, 35 degrees is what we want to be. 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, and 35. Close enough, go. TV, not really watching much on TV. Hi, Johnny Kliss. I'm afraid not. This is a single player game I play on Saturday, and it's just my opportunity to sit back and relax and play computer games while the rest of the family sleeps, and just run my mouth about various things going on. Can't even think. Oh, now, I did see, or I have been hearing, I don't have an Epic Games account, but as far as I'm aware, apparently there is Farming Simulator 22 is available for free on the Epic Store, at least for a few days. Probably a Memorial Day weekend thing. So I know we had whoever it was last week who popped in to say hi and couldn't decide whether he wanted to buy Farming Simulator 22. If he hasn't heard about it, then Epic Games Store. It's free. And potentially that means Giants are getting ready for a Farming Simulator announcement. We're about the right time of year for them to announce the next game. We've got FarmCon, is it coming up in Europe in the next couple of weeks. They just produced a video showing all of the DLC that they did for the current game. And they did the same for 19 as well. And it was within a month they announced, or they dropped a trailer for Farm Sim 22. So potentially we've got a couple of weeks, maybe there should be a trailer for the next version of Farm Sim. At least that's the scuttlebutt from Clutch and DJ Gohan. So we'll see where that goes, I guess. And maybe find out what new is going to be in store for us. It would be nice, I think, for Giants to figure out something like horseplay. I mean, back in 17 and 19 we had Seasons by Realismus, which was an absolute game changer as far as mods were concerned. And so for Farm Sim 22, Giants did a version of Seasons. Now, a lot of people call it Seasons Light. It's not as comprehensive as Realismus did. The whole, with them you had multiple stages of grass, and if it rained, the grass would decay. So stuff like that was built into the old version of Seasons, which just isn't a thing for us here in Farming Simulator 22's version. And I don't think anybody's really written a sort of a extension to Seasons to install things like rotting grass when it rains and stuff like that. But that was quite nice, because it did mean, I missed a bit on the field that I was harvesting. Doesn't matter. Definitely going to have to go and get the thing. So pull that. Yes. Oh. So yeah, it was we haven't actually got anything, as I said, as far as I know, that does a rotting grass on the field thing. Hello, you are not a rabbit. Our groundhog is way out of his comfort zone, running across the front yard. He lives in a tree stump at the back end of our backyard. I think I screwed that bit up a bit. I really should have come in from the other side, but I didn't, so that's better. We're going to make that turn. Alrighty, stick that there. Turn the engine off, and yes, went the right way. Turn the hazards off, that worked. So yes, what was I saying? Things. Versions of Farm Sim. Ah yes, seasons. So yeah, we do have the months, we have the calendars. The nice thing about Realismus is what they did was they just created a mechanic. Whoops. And then either map makers or script writers or whatever could create a weather map for yes, I'm still going the right way. The numbers are going up. 225, 250. Close enough. Could create a planting schedule calendar. So the calendar was either incorporated into a map, and if a map maker didn't bother, then Realismus had a default weather map planting calendar. They called them geos. And if a map maker wanted to, they could incorporate a geo within their own map. But there were also other people who released geos with weather based on a locality. So you could buy West Country geo for England, or Scotland geo for England, Midwest for the US, or North Carolina, or Florida, or California. So you could play on any map and load the geo you preferred to play with. Not a thing with Giants, so people are incorporating a crop calendar, but the crop calendar has to be embedded in the map. So we have one that is quite harsh because of our short growing seasons and bad weather, but it's at least representative of a Scottish crop calendar. Oh, hi, airplane. And then but we still have the in-game workers. Coursplay's been around for ages. It was available on 17. I didn't use it on 17. I messed with it on 19, but really didn't get to grips with it. On 22, I kind of made the effort to learn how it all works and get in from the start. So Courseplay makes workers a lot more intelligent. And so, And maybe it will be something that Giants turns around and says, you know what, it's about time we included something like that in the game. And so we can, it's there. GPS would be good. We've had GPS since 17, although that, we did have GPS in 17. In 19, the writer of GPS decided he wasn't going to do mods anymore for Farming Simulator, but Wopster, who does the manure system and a load of other stuff, he decided to pick up GPS and call it guidance steering to differentiate it from the old, Farm Sim 17 GPS. Oh, come on, little contractor. And so we do have guidance steering GPS, and Farming Simulator 22 came out, we have it again. So, it's stuff that exists, has existed for a long time. I think if Giants took a poll, I think they would see favour behind providing things like GPS and courseplay, such that they would incorporate something akin to it in the game. As it is, I mean, the workers are getting better. You can set a worker to empty on a field, or drive a course. So if you load up a wagon with wheat, you can set a worker to drive to the wheat entry, the wheat delivery point. And if there's more than one, you can select which one they drive to. And the worker will attempt to do that. Now, it's not very good, but I think in some cases it relies on stuff incorporated into the map. So there's a farm track over there. If the map maker has drawn a path along that track, then the helper can make use of it in order to drive to where it wants to drive. Courseplay, I think, Courseplay doesn't leverage off that. Courseplay leverages off not Courseplay, Auto Drive does the whole driving thing. But with Auto Drive, you define your own routes, and so that's part of the Auto Drive setup. You have to sit around and draw lines on the map, or lines in the game, for your Auto Drive network, and then a tractor will drive that Auto Drive network. Basically the way it would work is you've got the entrance to the field. I don't know where that went. Over there behind the tractor, I think. You've got the entrance to the field, so you'd have a join point at the entrance to the field and a leave point at the entrance to the field. And then if the tractor is in the field, it will drive to the nearest join point and then follow the route to where it wants to go. But that's quite a lot of setup, and it's the sort of thing I don't really have time to spend my weekdays creating Auto Drive networks. The other thing that Courseplay did add, I believe, was the ability for a harvester to empty to any grain cart that's parked on the field. 35 to 50. So because the Zerian is parked on the field, if this was on Courseplay, As soon as the harvester gets full, it will drive over to the tractor and just empty, and then come back to where it was. But your tractor has to be on the field, not outside of the field. But that's also a good thing. But you want the ability to I can't remember. I haven't done a lot with horseplay and auto driving to delivery points. I might do that for this one. We're nearly full here. So what I might do is, once we fill up, I'll bring the Zerion over, empty off the grain, and I should be close to the point where the grain cart is probably full of enough barley to deliver to the sell point to fulfill the contract, so anything extra will be mine. And I might just be able to say, hey, you go off to wherever, and I can finish this off, and then we'll move over to our first barley field and get that started. Now, our grain I don't want to sell, because I think barley's best price is December, January time, so we're a ways off it being a good time of year to sell it. It's only July. We really do need to doing 89%, okay. No, and all our blinking lights are on. Don't know what put the hazards on. Interesting. I have harvester stop mod, which will slam the brakes on and put the pipe out as soon as the grain tank reaches 100%. And that basically lets me look at chat and not have to worry about carving through crop and destroying it because I'm not looking at what I'm doing. That's unfortunate. Don't like that. And we have 62% left, so I think what we can do is struggle up the hill in spite of our 300 horsepower, almost 400 horsepower abilities. Okay, at least coming in from this direction, I can keep us far enough away from the harvester. I don't prang the pipe on the trailer. Speak. And down, yes. Okay, all the flashing has stopped. That's good. Yeah. Oh, the grain cart is full. Oh, that's unfortunate. Fold that in. Back up a little. Okay, well. I didn't think we were that close to have... I thought barley allowed for more crop. It's not very heavy. I guess not. So That's a bit of a pain. That means I'm just going to have to drive the barley off to the sell point. Means let's do cruise control. And what am I looking for? Where's the crop going, guys? We are taking this to the grain mill. Oh, there we go. And that's pretty much done. So I'm going to stop that there. I will put that out, turn that off, turn the engine off. And, oh, it's over there. Here and climb in the wrong side. So, yeah, 34,000. I could have sworn barley wasn't that heavy. Oh, maybe I want a heavy duty trailer. I have said I would like to get an auger wagon for field work and a truck and tipper for carting. Okay, let's stop there. Workers. That one. Now, I should be able to set destination. And that should be the grain mill. So I should be able to say go there and do that. And he can't do that. But if I go to course play, not that one, not that one, not that one, that one. So create job, unload combine, no, load and deliver, deliver. Debris crusher, spinnery, oil mill, somewhere, grain mill, no looping, and start job. And yeah, there isn't a direct route to the grain mill, so we're going to have to drive it ourselves. At least there isn't a direct route to the grain mill from where we are at the moment. I will check that that is the grain mill and not... yes, it is. It could have been the bakery for all I know. So, anyway, let's go drive. Oh, let's stop for the Ford Focus.